Contact. Alrighty. So I made a quick run to the O'Reilly's, picked up some OG Casper GTX and a Motorcraft oil filter. And my boy, since he works over at Ford, he picked me up some valve cover gaskets. We're going to drain the oil, replace the filter, replace the valve cover gaskets, and I'll top her back off with oil and make sure we've got a good seal. And then we're going to go back to the trunk and, you know, go back in there and clean all that rust out of there, or get all the big pieces out. And then we'll primer it and lay down a rubberized undercoating. I'll leave it open for a little while, that way it dries, and we'll find us some carpet somewhere, throw it in there, call it good for a little while. So let's get started. Had to swap my hat out too. I want to get that nice one all greased up. We'll let that do its thing. Get that old filter off. Oh, well, that's good. They didn't He-Man that dang filter on there either. Man, that's good on it. Good deal. Good. Alright. That'll do. This old car don't look that bad underneath. Alright, I'll put a little bit of oil around the seal there. That way on the next oil change, maybe she'll come off just as easy. Seal, so that way next time we do an oil change, it'll come off just as easy. The way I like to do it is just get it snug. Once it's snug, try to get another quarter turn on it. Call it good. Oh yeah, boy. Yeah. Plug back in. Alright, remember, just snug it. Ain't no sense in sousing down on it. That's just uncalled for. Oh man, paint's still pretty on that motor. Mercy. Alright, go back to the top. These bolts here on top that go inside this valve cover, they're 7/16. Before you get too carried away, make sure, well, that one just went all the way down to the oil pan, or the catch pan. Loosen this stuff out of the way. Take this dipstick out, get that out of our way. Oh yeah, boy. It don't look that bad. But before we put them on, we're gonna clean that up real good. This old gasket off there. What it's done is back here toward the back in here around this bolt. See, this bolt was missing a washer. But I guess whenever they put these on here, it just was not seated. You can see where it's come out right down here. It was open. Just left an open gap because it wasn't on there tight enough. See how that in there? Oh, you can't see it. Let's see. See how that in there is sealed? It's all clean. It was underneath. Down here around this hole, I mean, it's all saturated where that bolt wasn't tight enough. You know, a man could have just got by tightening them bolts up, but you just never know until you dig into it what kind of shape it's in. Luckily enough, it's in pretty dang good shape, to be honest with you. We could have rolled with it, but it's better to go on and replace it. You know it's good. We'll just clean up this outside of this. Normally I'd take a little brake clean on my rag, but I don't have any handy. I think I left it in the truck. Some RVT left from an old gasket, I guess. Gotta get that off, because if there's any old RTV under there, it's not going to create a good seal, and you're going to have a leak, boy. Open these up. Alright. Sit that over there. You stay. Alright. Take this old one. See how all that right there is wet and none of this up here is? That's just from not having a tight seal. We're going to take and clean all this off. Not a bad looking valve cover. Just, I know a lot of these are super thin. They'll tend to warp on you if you ain't careful. I'll tell you what, let's take this up here to the shop, see if we can't clean this thing up. What do you say? Good deal. Come on, let's go. Alright, what I like to do is I'll take I've got some water, but I'll take this gunk. Man, you can't beat the original. I've been using this stuff for years. Just spray her down. And what I do, I'll take some of this 4/0 steel wool and just scrub it down, clean it up. All right, back to the driveway. All right, take this bad boy. It's got these little openings, so it'll help hold this thing in place. Oh yeah, fits a lot better. Didn't realize there was a rounded side and there was a flat side. The flat side's going to go down toward, or it would go up toward the valve cover. Just remember, folks, I'm not a mechanic. I'm a painter. I just do my best out here. All right. Yeah. She's sitting off down in there good. All right. I'll take one. We'll put it in here. Make sure she starts. All right. Make sure your rag ain't up in there between that seal. That'd make for an aggravating event. Dang, big old hands. Where you at? Here you go. Use old extensiones. Can't see you. I can feel you. When you're putting these in, you may be in a hurry. See this? That is just to run the bolts up. Now they're already threaded in, so you're not doing a risk of cross threading. Do not tighten this thing down with this. Use a regular ratchet so you can feel how tight you're getting these rascals. Ain't no sense in bearing down on them because you'll damage that valve cover. See there? I'm just snugging it up. And stop. Don't try to get in a big old hurry. There you go. All right. If you want to hammer down on these bad boys, you'll break them off in the top of that motor. You'll be in a dead blame mess. You ain't got to get gorilla strength on them. Just snug them down. Good deal. And now, now that that's done, let's jump over here and do this other side. We got plenty of oil. Run this down. We need to run it before we check it. So let's fire this puppy up. Oh yeah. Oil pressure's good. Oil pressure real good. Not seeing any leaks. What?
Hopefully we fix all of it.
Oh yeah. Man. All right. Oil pressure's good. All right. We'll let her sit here for a few minutes and then we'll come back and we'll check that oil. All right. So now we're waiting on that oil. We'll just come back here and work on the trunk. Try to get some of this stuff cleaned out of here. Whew, yeah. Man, it's starting to get hot. Bear, what are you drinking?
Oh, nothing. Just a little bit of Mountain Dew Cabo Citrus from the new Baja flavored lineup. Goes perfectly with hot Cheetos or Doritos.
I'll not bow down to any sponsor. Oh, carburetor in here. It's an extra. There's an extra valve cover gasket. Armrest. We threw a lot of the trash and stuff already. We already threw away a lot of trash. Try to get all this stuff out of here so I can start sanding and sweeping this thing out. Now, before anybody says anything in the comments, I know doing this is not as efficient as cutting all this out and putting new in. That's not the objective. The objective is to just try to keep this at bay for a little while. All this trunk area is going to be replaced, but in the meantime, I'm not really worried about it. I'm just going to try to get some of this big stuff out of here. I'm going to sweep the whole thing out again, and then put down a layer of protectant. I'm going to primer, a little bit of lacquer primer, you know, and rubberized undercoating. Get that out of the way. Alright, look out. Brand new until we put a trunk in it. That right there had to hang in there for a little while. So we're gonna let this just sit here and air out for a little while, because that stuff takes a little while for it to dry, to set up, so I can put all this stuff back in there. So let's head up front and check that oil. Oh, shoot, we right on the money. All right. Well, I believe that's all we're going to do on this Fairlane today. I've changed the oil, changed the valve cover gaskets, cleaned out the trunk, done a little bit of spray rebuild to kind of get us by until we can put a new floor in the trunk. And yeah, she's coming along pretty good. So hang in there with us. We might get this thing out here after a while and go for a little ride, cruise around town. I'll see y'all next time. These windshield wipers are not even hooked up on the inside. It's getting hot.